Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at one of history's great escape stories, Alcatraz, 1962.
That's right, the one everyone knows or thinks they know, the supposedly escape-proof prison.
Exactly. But we're going beyond the usual story. We've actually dug into the official FBI records, the stuff right on their website.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see the nuts and bolts of the investigation from their perspective.
So our mission today is to unpack it, all of the when, the who, how they did it, what the FBI found, and, what they finally concluded, and the mystery that still sort of hangs over it.
Let's dive in.
And so picture it. June 12th, 1962. It's morning. Routine bed check.
And suddenly 3 inmates are gone, vanished.
But here's the kicker, right? They weren't just gone. They left these dummy heads in their beds.
Really realistic ones, apparently. Made from plaster, painted, even used real hair they collected.
Incredible. Just to buy themselves time, Fool the guards during the night counts.
Shows you the level of planning involved. They understood the routines.
And the escapees. John Anglin, his brother Clarence Anglin, and Frank Morris.
Right, and these guys weren't exactly first-timers. The FBI files show they had records, histories of escape attempts elsewhere. These were determined individuals.
Definitely not a spur-of-the-moment thing. So, the planning. The FBI thinks it kicked off around December 1961.
That's over 6 months of preparation. Inside Alcatraz.
It apparently started when they found some old saw blades, just, lying around or maybe smuggled.
Hard to say for sure how they got them, but those blades were key. They used them along with a homemade drill. Get this, made from a vacuum cleaner motor.
Seriously, a vacuum cleaner motor?
Yep. They used that stuff to slowly, painstakingly chip away and enlarge the air vents in their cells.
And these vents led somewhere.
They led into an unguarded utility corridor. Basically, a space behind the cell block that wasn't regularly patrolled. A major security oversight, really.
Wow. And they hid their work with, suitcases and cardboard.
Exactly. Very clever concealment. And this corridor became their secret workshop. They even managed to get up to the roof.
The roof? How?
Climbed up pipes, apparently. Set up a hidden workshop up there, too. Made a crude periscope to watch the guards' movements.
This sounds like something out of a movie. But the raft... that's maybe the most amazing part.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They constructed a raft, about 6 by 14 feet, and life preservers, entirely out of stolen raincoats. Over 50 of them.
50? How did they even stick them together reliably?
The thinking is they used heat from the prison's steam pipes to kind of melt or vulcanize the rubber seams. Might have read about it in magazines.
Ingenious. And they made paddles.
Hidden paddles, yeah.
Yeah.
And they needed to inflate the raft, right? They used something like a concertina or an accordion, some kind of musical instrument bellows, to pump air into it.
Just resourcefulness on another level. Now, wasn't there a fourth guy involved?
Yeah, Alan West. He was part of the plan, worked on it with them, but on the night of the escape, he couldn't get his ventilator grill removed in time. He got left behind.
Oh, man. Bad luck for him, but lucky for the FBI later, right?
Exactly. West couldn't escape, so he ended up cooperating fully. He gave the FBI pretty much the entire blueprint of the escape plan. Crucial information.
So the night itself, June 11th, 1962, they finally make their move.
Down through the vents into that utility corridor, climbed the pipes up to the roof level, maybe 30 feet up.
And got out through a roof ventilator.
Yeah, apparently they'd loosened it beforehand and used a fake bolt made of soap to disguise it. Then down a bakery smokestack over the fence.
And down to the shoreline on the northeast side of the island.
Right. Launched their makeshift raft and paddles into the freezing, choppy waters of the San Francisco Bay. And then they vanished.
So the FBI gets called in immediately. What did they find?
Well, they launched a massive investigation, checked records nationwide, interviewed relatives, put out alerts, asked boaters to keep an eye out.
Did any physical evidence turn up?
Yes, quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
A small packet of letters belonging to the Anglins, sealed in rubber, washed up, bits of paddle-like wood, pieces of rubber inner tube.
Okay, so stuff suggesting they made it into the water.
Definitely. And crucially, a homemade life vest, matching the description West gave, washed ashore on Cronkite Beach, north of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Ah, so evidence washed up outside the bay.
Right, which is significant. But combined with Alan West's detailed account of the plan.
The FBI still came to a pretty firm conclusion, didn't they?
They did. After a very long investigation, 17 years, they actively worked it. Their official finding was that it was highly unlikely the men survived the escape attempt.
Why? Just the conditions?
Primarily, yes. The incredibly cold water, the strong currents pulling out towards the Pacific, They also noted that none of the clothes or the car the men planned to steal on the mainland were ever reported stolen.
No trace on land.
No trace. And they figured significant help from family was unlikely and just. Zero credible evidence surfaced over all those years to suggest they were alive.
So the official verdict was presumed drowned.
Basically, yes. Lost to the currents in the cold.
And yet, the story doesn't quite end there, does it? There's still that lingering doubt.
There always is with Alcatraz. The U.S. Marshal Service, technically, still keeps the case open. Warrants are still out.
So we've gone through the FBI's view, the meticulous plan, the daring execution, the evidence found, and their logical conclusion.
A conclusion based heavily on the harsh realities of the Bay and the lack of any concrete proof of survival.
But it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? That sheer determination, the incredible ingenuity against all odds. What does that tell us about, I don't know, the human drive for freedom?
And maybe also about the limits of even the most formidable systems we create. It's a story that definitely sticks with you. Makes you wonder,